Well, hello, everyone. It is Friday, March 11th, 2022. Y'all, we are moving right along in this new year. It almost feels like it's not new anymore, but it is. Come on in. While some things remain the same, there are other things that are changing, but one thing that is not is the fact that Dr. Brandy B is right here with you. And we've got another exciting event today, another exciting topic. Come on in, and let me know when you get in here. Say hello to me. Say hello to me when you get in because Friday, March. Let me turn myself down over here. I'm trying to see. I've got let's see, Sheree Haywood. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. We've got Gay and Luella Marbury. Miss Marbury is here. Thank you all so much. I think that's Haywood Gay. I'm sorry if I did not pronounce your name correctly or did not say all of it. We've got Miss Belinda Jones, who is in the building. We thank you now for always coming in and hanging out with us. Come on, tag your friends. Let them know we are here for Focus on It Friday. Now, some of you all may say, I don't need to know anything about seeing a psychiatrist because I'm already seeing you. There may be something that you can learn, and we certainly want to help you learn that today. We want to help you learn that today. All right, now let me see how I can make this happen. I'm going to try to share this to my page. Y'all know I'm not a techie guru, but we are going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. I appreciate you all so very much for coming and hanging with me. I do. Let's see how I can do this. I guess it did it. I don't know. Maybe not. I want to share it. All right, come on in. All right. What you need to know about seeing a psychiatrist. Because everybody asks me that question all the time. So I am going to try to answer your questions. I'm going to answer your questions. All right. And then I'm going to go back over here. So many different little steps I can't do until I actually start the live. But never fear. We are going to be in and ready for action. We're going to be fairly quick today because I hold y'all too long. Nobody complained though, but I just imagine that I do. All right, who do we have? Miss Jones says, good morning. Good morning. It's okay, love says, tell me how to pronounce your name. Sheree? I think that might be Sheree. Haywood Gay, I love that name. Go ahead and tell me how to pronounce it. Miss Luella says, hello, Dr. Brandy B. Y'all, that's my church member. My church members show up every week. I appreciate them. I love them so much. Good friend too. My mother, rather than my good friend Giovanna Marbury, sweetheart. Miss Belinda says she received her book yesterday. Yay! Sorry for the delay. I'm a one-woman girl over here trying to be a mommy, a doctor, an author. Oh Lord, I'm gonna have to get some help, but I'm so glad that you received it. Mommy says, hello, Dr. Brandy B. Hello, Mommy. Without Mommy, there would be no me. So we are always glad when she's here. Finally made it to a live, says Miss Ashley Jessie Grove, and we are so excited to have you. We have the best time over here on our lives at Dr. Brandy B. I don't know what other people are doing on their lives, but we have a good time over here. Miss Terry Wright Bush says, happy Friday, and I say right back to you, happy Friday, and thank you for watching. I do have a book, Miss Sheree. Let me go ahead and show it to you. Oh, Lord, I left the book. Oh, we got one over here. We got a book. Yes, my book is Shine, Understanding ADHD so your child can be a star. That's my name down there. Shine, Understanding ADHD so your child can be a star. It really does walk you through everything you need to know about ADHD from the beginning to the end. And a lot of what we're going to talk about today is found right here in my book. So if you have any other questions, that's going to be a good place for you to go. And I like the lives. They have their place. If you have 30 minutes, or if y'all keep me an hour and 10, but who's counting over here, then you can go back to that and watch it. But sometimes you may just want to read it, put a paper clip on it, like I do my book that I use all the time. I put a paper clip on it. So if somebody says, well, where is such and such, I can say, hold on, let me show you in the book. All right. So that is Shine. And the website for the book is www.shineadhdbook.shop. ADHDbook.shop. Sheree is how we pronounce it. Very good. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I do like to pronounce people's names correctly because that is one of the most basic signs of respect. So if you're ever wondering what is my last name, because you don't hear it, so it's Rudolph like the reindeer. That's the name my daddy gave me. And then my husband gave me Bowling, Bolling, Bowling, Brandy Bowling. All right. And then we've got Miss Jessamine Woods Smith. That's my high school classmate, y'all. I love her. That's also my soror. If any Deltas are in the house, we love all the people, but we do not discriminate. But I do love me some Deltas. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me pull up the post over here. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm Dr. Brandy B, your triple board certified pediatrician, adult psychiatrist, and child and adolescent psychiatrist. And through my Facebook Live, Focus on It Friday, through my book, Shine, Understanding ADHD So Your Child Can Be a Star, through my in-person and virtual events like Mommy's Time Out, what's the name of it, y'all? A conversation with Dr. Brandy B about ADHD. The whole goal, y'all, is to help moms, dads, grandparents, and anybody else who has a special interest in children, especially those with ADHD, get the education that they need so that they can then help their children become rock stars and shine. Today, Jessamine says she loves the book. Y'all listen, the book is to be loved. I love the book. Okay, now everybody author probably says they love a book, but if you're going to ask me which is my favorite book that I've written, I'm going to tell you Shine, and that's because that's the only one I've written so far. But I do love the book. And some people say that when they're reading it, if they listen to my lives or if they're my patient, they can hear me actually talking as they read it. And that's got to be a cool thing if you like the way I sound. If you don't, like this one patient I had, then that might not work. So, but anyway, yes. My cousin, Karen Jackson, Kylie Jackson. You change your name. Karen Denise Jackson. She got all the names on there. From Albany, Georgia, on the Eastern time zone. We thank you for coming up here and for all you do in the classroom with the young babies, the preschool babies. All right, let me go ahead and get started. So what I want to talk to you about today is what you need to know before you see the psychiatrist, okay? So a lot of people will say, I think my child has, we've got Miss Tierra Charday watching. Thank you. We've got Miss Sierra Tarver watching. Thank you. We've got Heather Day watching as well. Thank you all so much for joining Dr. Brandy B and Focus on It Friday. So a lot of people will say, well, I think my child has ADHD. I think my child is suffering from depression. I think my child has some anxiety. What do I need to do? Who do I need to see? The answer is really easy. First of all, kudos to you for saying to yourself, oh my goodness, something is going on with my child. There's something that is off, even if I don't know what to call it. She says, hey, cousin, hey, Tiara, all the way from Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio is in the building. Thank you so much for joining. And so you may say, who do I go to first? That's a very good question, The first person that, whether you're an adult or a child, that you need to go to is your family doctor. Now, some of y'all know me personally, and y'all skip them. They don't even know what's going on. Try to get the kid on medicine, and the doctor is like, where did this come from? Who is this? And then they find out it's me, and they're like, oh, okay, she all right. You go to stay over there and let her do whatever it is that she's doing. But the first step you really want to make, the first stop, is to go to your child's pediatrician, family doctor, med-peds doctor, whoever it is. Some people don't even have a primary doctor. They go to the health center, the public health center, and they just get shots, right? But everybody ought to have somebody that is your primary doctor, because sometimes you want to go where people know your name. And if your doctor knows your name, they are much more likely to say, oh, this is different from it, how it was last year. Okay. So you want to go to the primary doctor and you're going to say to the primary doctor, oh my goodness, I think my child has X, Y, and Z. Or better, you're going to say my child has these symptoms, because the real first step is that usually either you have noticed the symptoms of ADHD, and we'll just talk about that because y'all know I like talking about that most. You have noticed the symptoms of ADHD, or your child's teacher has brought it to your attention. That is how you come to be aware of those symptoms. And then the next step that you need to make is to go to your child's primary care doctor, the person that gives them their shots, because hopefully those are up to date. Now, when you get there, you're going to express these symptoms to that doctor, nurse practitioner, whoever it is that is the primary care medical professional that is taking care of them. And you're going to say this is what's going on. Now, it depends on how comfortable with diagnosing and treating or even making recommendations for your child. It depends on how comfortable the person that you're talking to is with mental health in general. We'll just say that. And mental illness, okay? And so it may be that they don't really know what to do either. So y'all are just looking at each other, okay? So then that's when you need to go one step farther. But we're going to assume that your child's doctor knows what the next step is. And so you may decide, yes, this is a significant problem, but right now we don't want medicine. That is completely fine. I welcome parents who know what they want. That is the best delight of my life, having a parent who knows what they want and what they do not want. So in that case, we would probably need to get that child in with a therapist. Now, y'all know, I talk about this all the time. What percentage of people, human beings, could benefit from therapy? What percentage of human beings could benefit from therapy? We've got Miss LaTroya Williamson Boyce watching. I think you might be a first-time watcher. Thank you. My auntie Wanda Gale is watching, and she says, hello, hello. We've got Judge Patricia Stevens on the call, so don't do anything illegal because I cannot post your bill over here. Y'all know not to be sneaking and watching me at work, because if you lose your job, that too is on you. But nobody knows. Who can tell me what percentage of human beings can benefit from therapy? Anybody? Anybody know? Is it true that your child can't get diagnosed with ADHD until the age of 5? That is not true. LaTroya says, hello, hello, hello. Tara, no, that is not true. But who can tell me? Nobody knows. Okay, so 100% of human beings can benefit from therapy. All right, we got off to the side. Let me come back. Let me stay focused. 100% says Miss Dia. Yes, 100% of individuals can benefit from therapy, right? So you don't even have to have anything wrong, right? We go to the doctor for checkups. Why don't we go to our therapist for checkups too? Just have somebody. Because here's the deal, and I know I talk about this all the time. I'm getting off track, but let me get back focused. But let me say this. Whenever you call your friend, you say, girl, let me tell you. Or if you're a man and you call your guy friend and you say, bruh, okay, you're about to engage in a therapy session right there. But what comes out of their mouth may not be something that is so wise, okay? And then you may be in front of Judge Stevens trying to figure out how to get yourself out of a sticky situation. So we don't want that, right? If you have things that you are constantly trying to tell somebody about, and you find yourself in trouble, get yourself a therapist, an unbiased person, third party who can help you through those things. So when you go to your primary doctor for your child and they say, let's get this child into some therapy, that is a good first step regardless. Okay. Go ahead and, you want to find one. Is this person knowledgeable about kids? Have they seen kids? Because children are not little adults. All right. And so there are some special techniques and special skill sets and special pieces of knowledge that people who work with children need to have that those who work with adults only may not know. Okay. And that's okay. We don't fault them for that. We just need them to stay in our lanes and we stay in ours. Okay. Stay in their lanes and we stay in ours. Now, engaging in therapy is key for the child with ADHD. I mean, it is certainly key for the child who has anything else going on. And as people have said, it is key for 100% of the population. The problem, though, is that while 100% of the population can benefit from it, there's a backlog. Why? Because we don't have enough therapists. We don't have enough mental health providers, period, right? Psychiatrists, nurse practitioners, nurses, therapists. So if you have one, wink, wink, and you're in with them, do not get fired, because they are wanting to fire you, not because you did anything bad, but because you kept no showing, and there are people out there that want that spot. So make sure you keep your appointments whenever possible, but life happens. We know that. And so just make sure that you're courteous and give them a call to say that you cannot come. Whatever you do, try not to cancel an initial appointment. Those things are like golden eggs at an Easter egg hunt. Okay. Inside of them are the $100 bills that you have been looking for, that you've been praying for, and that you have waited 4 to 6 to 9 months for. Do not miss it. If you've got to beg, borrow, and steal a car, don't steal one, because Judge Stevens will be seeing you about that. But do whatever you got to do, and a lot of people are seeing folks virtually. Do not miss these virtual appointments unless somebody is like really, really, really in a bad way. Go to these appointments and take the kid. Please take the kid for the kid's appointment. Okay. So you're going to see this therapist. You're going to engage in therapy. Now, kids with ADHD, right? Therapy is a lot about gaining insight, looking introspectively, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of your actions, your behaviors. And so if you are a child who is so hyperactive that you don't stop to think and realize what's going on, therapy may be a little bit difficult for you. Now, if your child has oppositional defiant disorder, you're going to have to check out some other talks to figure out what that is. Therapy, in large part, can be geared towards the parent, and helping the parent to understand how ways to parent the child they were given and not the child they thought they were going to get, because those could be two different children. And so if you were stuck on parenting the child you thought you were going to get, you prayed for, you dreamed about, but you got a different child, there's going to be a disconnect, and that's going to be a problem. So one of the things that therapy can do is to help you, mom and dad and grandma, figure out ways to be able to parent that child, because the way you parented your own children, grandma, back in 1960 and 70 and 50 and beyond, if you're the great grandmother, may not work now. And I know what you're saying, this switch still works, but you're old now. Remember that, okay? You don't have the stability, agility, or none of that, right? So we don't want this 5-year-old to push you over with that switch you're trying to whip her with. Y'all know what I'm saying. I just be keeping it real. Y'all know I had to get there. Sharita says, totally agree. That's right. We've got to get there as moms. Had a conversation with a mom today, and I said to her, let me know when you get ready, because I'm ready. I stay ready. I wake up every day ready to treat this ADHD and anything else that walks in the door. I don't know what's going to walk in the door. My mom said, how many you got today? I don't know. I just show up and I see them till they stop coming, right? I just see them till they stop coming. So whatever walks in, I'm ready. So when parents are ready, I'm here and I'm ready. So make sure you go to the therapy appointments. Make sure you keep your appointments. Make sure you engage as much as possible. Now, it may be that you find out that your child does not like their therapist. And let me tell you something. Liking your therapist is a big part of treatment, right? You got to be able to trust them. You got to feel like they're being genuine. And so that is a large part. So if y'all aren't meshing, don't waste time trying to make that relationship work. Just go on and go to the next person. It's not like you're dating them or marrying them. Just go on to the next person. Now, I have some good friends that are therapists. I can give you some good recommendations. But you got to find somebody you like. Okay, now, let's say the child is too hyperactive and you're like, I'm ready to get some medications. Great. I'm glad that you want to do that. I will tell you this, that for ADHD, now some of y'all ain't gonna want to hear this, and if you don't want to hear, just close your ears right now, okay? If you think I'm about to say something that you're not going to want to hear, just close your ears, okay? Don't come in my inbox, okay, talking about Jesus, because I love Jesus. I know it. For ADHD, which is probably the only diagnosis in all of the DSM, which is the book that we use to make our mental health diagnoses, ADHD primary treatment is medication, right? Now somebody's saying, we just gonna pray about it. Keep praying, but you can have prayer, Jesus, a therapist, and some medication too. Now y'all know I don't talk about medicines over here, but you can find it in Shine. We go in deep details about it over there. But we just don't talk about it here because I really want you to understand the benefits of treating it, and then you can come up with the conclusion that it needs to be treated and how you want to treat it on your own. But let's say that you're ready to treat. Hopefully your child's primary doctor is willing to start something. Okay. And they are, or they have a friend like me that they can call. But I really hope that they are able to start something and that they go ahead and do so. Now, why do I say that? The reason that I say that is because it may take you, remember I said 4 to 6 to 9 months to get in with a psychiatrist. Those are very real numbers, right? Some people may have less, some people may have more of a wait, but there is going to be a wait. And so, for example, we are at March now. If you learn today that your child is failing this semester, by the time you get in to see a psychiatrist or a nurse practitioner who can write your child medications, the year is over. The year is over. So hopefully you can go ahead and get in with your primary doctor, get on medication if that's what you choose to do, and then get on the wait list of somebody else if that's what you choose to do. Now, I want you to be aware of this. While I see a lot of ADHD, there are many more children in the world who never see a psychiatrist, and they're doing quite well with the medication that their pediatrician is prescribing. And we say kudos to those pediatricians. We love them, right? Because they help lighten our load. So you may not need a psychiatrist. You may, whatever they put you on may work and maybe it won't, but they are willing to change. Go with the flow. All right. But let's say you've decided my pediatrician isn't really comfortable with that, or I just want an expert to talk to me about this. Then you're going to seek out a psychiatrist. The first thing you got to do is figure out how you're going to pay for it. Now, if you have Medicaid, your options may be limited. Okay, because there are fewer psychiatrists that treat or accept Medicaid. Honestly, psychiatry in large part is moving to be like a boutique type of specialty almost, where a lot of my colleagues are accepting cash only. Cash only. So if you find a psychiatrist who is accepting Medicaid, you better hold on to them and do not miss that first appointment, because they may not schedule you back, right? Because you just messed up an hour of their life that they can never get payment for again, at least not payment on this side in greenbacks. Okay, so do not miss that appointment after you've waited all that time for it. Just do a courtesy. And if you decided to go somewhere else or decided to stop medicine, just do a courtesy and call and cancel that appointment. Okay. So you want to get in with a psychiatrist. If you have Medicaid, like I said, you're going to need a referral. That means that you will need to have a primary care physician. This is in the state of Alabama. I don't know about other places, but I'm sure it's going to be something very similar. You're going to need something from your pediatrician basically saying, I am approving, or I think that this child needs to see a specialist, because you need them for any specialty, a referral. And this is why. Right? So you need to have seen your doctor within the last year to be able to get that from them. They're not going to do it otherwise. Okay. Once we get that, then you can get on the wait list. Now, there is going to be a lot of paperwork potentially involved. That is because we need to know, are you a good fit for the practice? Everybody is not a good fit for every practice, right? And they may figure that out when you're filling out the paperwork. For example, in my practice, which is a very small private practice, if you have attempted suicide several times and are always having crisis, my practice is not the best one for you, because I do it part-time. And so while I have a nurse or nurses monitoring the phones, keeping up with things, you need more what we call wraparound services. And so we, can talk about that. So you're going to get on the wait list while starting the medication. All right. Now, if you have a commercial insurance, Blue Cross is a big one in Alabama, Cigna, TRICARE, and there are several others. The main thing you want to do, like I said, is find out the paying source. Many of your insurance companies are going to have a list of doctors by specialty that are on your child's insurance on their preferred list. Okay. They're going to be covered with whatever your copay is. If you go outside of that list, then you can expect to pay more. Okay. This is just basic insurance. Now, psychiatrists are specialists, which means that the copay is going to be more if you have commercial insurance. A lot of people come in my office and they're like, well, I don't understand. I paid $20 to see my primary doctor, but your copay is $60. I'm a specialist, and the copays are more expensive for specialists. Some people, and you need to know this, will get a lower priced insurance. Okay, so your premium is going to be lower priced, but then when it's time to come and see a specialist, all of a sudden you realize that you have to meet a deductible before you can see me. So this good insurance that you thought you had now holds you back from seeing me. Had someone here recently with a deductible of $5,250. Unless somebody needs surgery, it's not likely you're going to meet that. So now you got to pay me full amount until you get to 50 to 50. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you are choosing your plans, because that again can be a roadblock to you getting in to see someone like me. So you got to find somebody in your network, somebody you can afford. The next thing you want to do is call that office and figure out what is it that I need to do to get on your book. When you call my office, you're going to get a voicemail. The voicemail is going to tell you everything that you need to know. Do it. Every office is going to have some different way that they work. Okay, a human may answer, a voicemail, whatever. They may have you to schedule on a link or whatever. We make sure that, and part of what we're doing too is making sure that you're really serious, because people call and have questions all the time, but only those people that go those next few steps really want to be in our presence. Okay, now, so you're on the wait list and you're waiting, it's okay on occasion to call and say, have y'all had any cancellations? I do want you to understand this, that when you write in to a practice, you say something like urgent, everybody's request is urgent. Everybody is. But every once in a while, we may, have a touch or prick to our hearts, and we may go ahead and get you in. But that's not anything that anybody should ever expect. Just know that there's going to be a wait. There's going to be a wait. Now, because I'm going to go about 5 minutes longer, I'm going to talk to you about things that you can do in the interim. The fact that you are already here watching me means that you are leaps and bounds beyond on your knowledge level. If you've been hanging out with me for the past 1.5, almost 2 years, maybe it will be 2 years, y'all. If you've been hanging out with me for the past 2 years, you already know the questions. Go in there prepared. Go in there prepared. Know that they're going to ask you about what is your child doing. They're going to ask you first, what brings you in? That is a sentence answer. Do not start with, well, it all started when he was born. No, it didn't. What brings you in today? Okay. I'm concerned about my child is hyperactive. They say my child's going to fail. Stuff like that. It did not start with birth. Okay. Then they're going to ask you to give details. Okay. The beginning of the conversation, I allow parents to talk. They get about 2 to 3, maybe 5 minutes to do freestyle. That is your turn. If Judge Stevens were to say to give your open arguments, okay, then you can tell me about birth, but make it quick. Make it quick. These first appointments can usually last 1 to 2 hours, depending upon who it is and how much time they've given you. But still, being brief is what you want to go for, because you do not want to spend so much time telling me all these things that then when we get to the end, you don't get a chance to ask your questions about the medicines. And let me just pause right here and say, please know who you're going to see, what type of professional they are, and what their goal is. I am a psychiatrist. I have a medical degree, an MD. Some other people have DOs. That is okay too. Doctors of osteopathic medicine. They are physicians like I am. We take the same board certifications, okay? As an MD, the primary thing that I do is prescribe medications. I do not do therapy. So if you do not want to waste my time or yours, please know that up front. If you're interested in hearing about medications, you want to learn about them, great. But if you think that medications are from the devil himself and I must be a spawn of the devil, then please send that message to my inbox, but do not block an hour for that conversation. I hope that didn't sound mean. Y'all know I'm not mean, but I do want you to understand somebody wants that spot. And that is not a good time to tell me about how evil I am and where I'm going when I die, because That's your opinion, okay? So you're going to get in, they're going to ask you your chief complaint or your reason for coming. That's what you're going to say, that one sentence, okay? It's not going to be, it all started when he started walking, okay? All right? Then you're going to have a chance to talk about that. Then the doctor, nurse practitioner, will likely start asking you questions. We just need really yes or no, okay? If I say, does the child fidget? Yes or no is good, right? I don't really need a whole lot of examples because I'm looking at them. So I can see the adolescent girl playing with her hair twist. I don't need you to tell me all those examples. I'm just telling y'all what we're thinking on this side, okay? Now, you ain't gonna find nobody that's nicer than me. I dare you, okay? And more compassionate, but I'm just telling you what we're really thinking because I know you got all these questions at the end because I don't talk about medicines here. So that's what you have questions about. You know what ADHD looks like. You don't know about these medicines because I don't tell you. You got to pay for that, right? Okay. So then we're going to ask you about the child's past medical history. I'm going to want to know, was it a normal delivery and pregnancy, or were there some complications? I may ask you about your drug use. This is a good time to be honest. Do not tell me that you did not drink alcohol and I'm looking at that child and that child looks like it has the faces that are consistent with fetal alcohol. Okay, just be honest because I don't judge you, but it just helps me to know what we're working with. Okay, I'm going to also ask you about any past mental health treatment that this child has had. This is a good time to tell me about therapy. This is a good time to tell me about past medications. And yes, ADHD is considered a mental illness. This is a good time to tell me about the 4 and 5 medications that the child has already been on so that I'm not spinning my wheels trying to go back over those when we get to that part of the exam, only for you to say, oh, he's been on all those. Well, but you didn't know. But so now you know, because we got a lot of new people coming in, right? And they probably think, oh my God, she's harsh. No, I'm not. Go back and look at my other videos. Kind of in a hurry today because I got to be somewhere, but I really want you to know what we're thinking. I want to save my time for the end to answer all of your questions about the plan. I do not want you to tell me all these details about it all started when he was born, unless whatever happened when he was born is pivotal to what we're talking about at the moment. So then we're going to ask you about family history, okay? I want to know about drugs. I want to know about depression. I want to know about people that suddenly dropped dead and they were 35, or they fell asleep while driving in the middle of the day and hit a tree and they've never fallen asleep before. I want to know about the teenage cousin who went up for a layup in basketball at the game and fell down dead to the floor. That's the kind of stuff I want to know about. I definitely want to know about ADHD and the mom and the dad, even if it's suspected. And I learn a lot from drug use and drug history as well. I'm not trying to get in your business. I'm trying to get a good family history so I can know what I'm working with. Then I want to know about social history. What city do you live? Who all lives at home? Again, I'm not trying to be in your business. I don't really care how many people live there. I just want to know, what is the family dynamic like? Are you telling me the child can't sleep because the child sleeps on the floor and there are 20 people in a 3-bedroom apartment? I don't really care, right? If everybody seems happy and their needs are met and this baby sleep on the floor, it's just important to me to know that the baby, the surface might be hard and that's why the baby can't sleep, okay? Then I'm going to ask, it is very important that you tell me, going back up to family history, if the child is adopted, right? That's a very fine time for me to know when I'm asking about people in the family and you're telling me about your family, but that child is not biologically related to you. I don't really care that the child is adopted. I'm happy that you adopted that child and put that child in a loving home and a loving situation. But what I do need to know is that child is not biologically related to you, because that then means that we don't really know that part of the family history. But when I ask the social history, if there are some things going on with some substance abuse, that's really important for me to know too, because it may be that the child is anxious and irritable and always on edge because there is an alcoholic adoptive dad or stepdad who the child is not biologically related to, but who always makes this child on edge because everybody in the house is on eggshells. Does that make sense? Is that the end? Is that the end? All right, let's see. Let's see what else. Okay, so then we get down. That is I'm going to ask about school. Okay, so the bottom line is, if you have not heard it, the interview is not a good time to be ashamed. I don't care what you did. I'm not judging you. I'm trying to get this baby better so they can shine. Okay, so just be honest with me, because guess what? Everybody got somebody that's been on drugs in their family. If they weren't then, they are now. So we passed that. I'm on with trying to figure out how I can keep this baby off drugs. That's what I'm trying to do. So after I get all that history, then I'm going to look at this baby, but I've been looking at him the whole time, right? From the time you dial on. And oh, by the way, you should know that if you're doing a video call, you can be seen and heard. You and your child and anybody in the room, in the house. So tell everybody to calm down, because everything can be seen and heard as soon as that video pops on. So this is not a time to keep getting dressed. Although thank God I've never seen anybody inappropriately clad or scantily clad. And this is not a time, you want to, again, pretend like you're coming to a doctor's appointment. All right. I'll just say that. So then we're going to start talking about diagnoses. Now, I'm probably unique in that I make sure that parents understand what the diagnosis is. I don't keep any secrets from you because I don't want you keeping any from me. So whatever I think that your child has, whether that be autism, anxiety, depression, ADHD, I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to explain to you what that is, what it means. And I'm going to let you know that you will not see anybody talking about ADD because it doesn't exist. Go back and check out other videos so you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to also tell you why you will not hear anybody, not in this field. Now, other people may, but in this field, you will not hear people diagnosing anybody with Asperger's. Go back and check other videos out to learn why and what I'm talking about. Okay, once we get past the diagnosis, then the next thing that I'm going to do is to, we'll go over medications, what the options are, what treatment looks like. Now, most of my parents love me because I educate you and then I give you options. And then I say, what do you want to do? You will never hear me say, this is what we're going to do. It's always, what do you want to do? And for some parents, that's really frustrating. But I just need to hear you say that. So when you leave the office, you cannot say that woman just started me on this and didn't explain anything. I'm going to go over side effects. I'm going to go over. Now, I do not go a lot into alternative treatment options because honestly, again, that's not what I do. I prescribe FDA approved medications. So if you want some root or, something that you just pick up out of the local mart, go do that. I have no problem with you doing that. Just don't do anything that's illegal, right? And if it's not hurting the baby, then go for it. But when you come to me, you're getting a prescribed medication. Okay, so understand that. And so I'm going to go over all those side effects. I go over them in detail here, right? In Shine. So you're going to get all of that. And then that appointment has ended. We will have spent probably 30 minutes to an hour together at that point. We will end, and I do a lot as a board certified pediatrician. I do a lot of anticipatory guidance because that's what pediatrics is all about. Pediatrics is, okay, between this appointment and the next one, especially in that first year, these things are going to happen. He's going to start crawling. So make sure that you baby proof the house. Okay. I do a lot of that as well. You may notice this. If this happens, go up to this. If this happens, go back down. Call the office for this reason. Call the office for any reason. I was just talking to my nurse, Dia, before I came on. She's going to call you back. So if you tell me Dia didn't call you back, you didn't call us. Point blank and period. Because she's going to call you back. I may not call you back, but Dia's going to call you back. And then she's going to remind me to call you if I was supposed to call you. Speaking of which, I think the mom that I talked to right before 11, I think I saw your name on here. Your child's prescription is gone to the pharmacy. So kudos for me. I signed it and it is there. So you can check. All right. I saw your name earlier. So maybe you're still here. All right. So that's it. The next appointments will be very quick. Again, think like, what do I want this lady to know before the timer runs out? What do I want her to know? I want to talk to your child, but it is mostly about you. If you have an adolescent child, please do not send that adolescent child to an appointment. Have me go through all of this, and then you come on at the end and say, now, I don't understand why we're doing this medicine. You should have been here. Now I am upset because I have to go over all of this again. And I'm real nice, y'all. I really am. I hope I don't come off as being rude. I'm over here giving y'all this free information. But even y'all work that out at the house and figure out what can I be in on so that I know what's going on and I can answer all your questions. All right. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? All right. Every appointment after that is going to typically be short, very short. Are you taking the medicine? Is it working? Is it working long enough? Are you having side effects? Do you like the effects of the medicine? Do we need to change the medicine? Every single time. Every single time. And then we'll make an appointment. We'll follow up. I'll give you enough prescriptions. If you miss an appointment, you're basically, I've got to just try to figure out, did you miss it? Because one lady told me, my husband is off today and I want to lay in bed with him. Okay. Have fun. But I didn't see your child. And so now your child doesn't have medicine. All right. So keep that in mind. Let me see what kind of questions we have over here. Ooh, let's see. For a child with symptoms, I may have to come back on tonight, y'all. Might that be all right if we do a part 2? Let's see. Maybe about 4:00. We got a lot of good questions over here. We got a lot of good questions over here. Miss Sierra Tarver says, for a child with symptoms of ADHD and ODD who is against therapy sessions, is it suggested that the parent do their own therapy sessions to learn to parent their child, or should the parent and the child engage in family therapy sessions together? It would definitely be good for the parent to engage in some therapy and then just kind of see how things go from there. So I always say that 100% of human beings can benefit from therapy, but a special subpopulation of all human beings that could benefit from therapy is the parent of a child with a special need. How do I know that? Because y'all try to do therapy with me. That's not what I'm for. I'm your child's psychiatrist. Get yourself a therapist if you have a child with a special need, because it's stressful. Parenting is stressful. Parenting a child with a special need is increase that. Good question, Miss Sierra. Thank you. Let me know if that was helpful to you. Mama says good information. Always. Miss Lovey Banks is watching. Auntie Gail says, can a child have a mild case of ADHD? Absolutely. I was speaking to someone earlier today and I said, really, ADHD needs spectrum in its name, because you can have children who are extremely hyperactive, and then you can have children who are just inattentive and they don't move. But it's all still can be ADHD. Miss Quatis, hello. She says, wow, I didn't know this. Good information. Not sure which part you didn't know, girl, but I'm glad that I can be of some assistance. Miss Sharita Etheridge, welcome to the show. She says sometimes parents need help first. Once they get their mental health under control, it can truly impact their children and how their children respond to their mental illness. It changes your perspective. I believe in prayer, but when you pray, submit to the will of God. Sometimes medication is the answer until God chooses to heal. Amen is all I need to say to that. We've got Miss Jill Murner McBrayer. Thank you so much for watching. Miss Shelley Studdard is hanging in there with us, and Miss Yvonne Monroe. Thank you so much for watching. Miss Jessica Huff Vasquez, thank you for watching. Miss Sharita says, no, that did not sound mean. That is the truth. And y'all know I'm just trying to give you the truth over here. Miss Jessica Vasquez says, came in at the end. You're in Vernon, right? I'm in Sulligent. My 7-year-old stepson came to live with us in May. He is with us forever. He has had a rough few years. We believe he has ASD, ODD, and definitely has ADHD and anxiety. Do you treat all? I like it. Straight and to the point. Yes, ma'am. I treat it all. Yes, ma'am. I do. Miss Sharita says, yes, she's agreeing with me. Thank you. And look, if y'all don't agree with me, let me know that too. But I love the yeses. Miss Janice Denise Williams is watching, and we thank you. Miss Kara Archie is watching, and we thank you. Miss Jessica says, I love your approach. I'm a list person, so I cover info from OT schools and our home. Thank you so much, Miss Jessica. You either love me or love me. That's how I am, because I'm going to give you a big hug at the end, but sometimes I do have to talk to people just a little bit, like straight to the point, because that's what we respond to as human beings. My friend, Miss Pamela from Florida is here, and girl, I am ready to go in your state. Miss Sierra says, thank you. Auntie Miss Sadie Gresham is watching. She says, hello to everyone, and hello, Dr. Brandy B. I hope this was helpful, y'all. I hope this was helpful. Of course, there's going to be some other steps in there. But for the most part, I've given you what you need to know about getting in to see a psychiatrist. It is a long process. And like I tell people, I'm like Heinz ketchup, honey. I am definitely worth the wait. Okay. I think that's Heinz. Is that Heinz? I am definitely worth the wait, because guys, I am going to make sure that your questions are answered. And I tell my, my patients, please listen to me on my lives because I can spend more time there. They expect me to be like this in the room with them. And I'm like, I'm over there on Fridays. Go listen. And I will tell you this, I will throw this in. If you know of a friend who is going through this and is waiting to get in or just is not trouble, just don't be afraid to share these videos with them. Hey, I saw this really cute doctor on Facebook, Dr. Brandy B, and she's live every Friday. You ought to check her out. I know you told me about some troubles your child is having. I'm not trying to say what he does or does not have, but she really brings some insight. And so I'm going to start making a strong recommendation that anybody is waiting for me, that they actually watch my videos, because that's going to save us a lot of time in the exam room. And I know you're like, well, she always rushing people. No, I don't. My people will never tell you that they are rushed. But I do want you to come with meaningful questions about the treatment. And then if there's just something that you're confused about, because sometimes people will say, well, my kid argues about the color green, or the colors. I may say it's off-white and he may say it's beige. Well, that may not be oppositional defiant disorder. That child may be arguing as a part of their autism spectrum disorder. And so we talk about that, and we really go deep into what some of these symptoms mean and what the presentation looks like. So if people could come here and watch, that would help them out greatly. Education is power. And when you have power, you can absolutely change the world. Your children need that. Your family needs that. ADHD and no other mental illness. It is not a single person disease. It impacts the whole house. It impacts the whole family. It impacts the neighborhood. It impacts the community at large. And if you don't believe me, just watch what's going on in the world. So many people are self-medicating themselves for a variety of different reasons. And we do not want them to do that. We want them to grow up and be the best that they can be, whatever that is. And we want to make sure that when it's all said and done, we can say, I did the best that I could, right? Denial is more than a river, but you have no excuse for being in denial if you're following Dr. Brandy B. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. It seems that I answered all of the questions for today. If y'all have any other questions, just drop them there. I've got to run off to a meeting, but I'll be coming back. If I get a lot of questions, we may jump back on and do this again this afternoon. All right, I love y'all. I'm going to get out of here. I'm Dr. Brandy B, your triple board certified pediatrician, adult psychiatrist, and child and adolescent psychiatrist. And through my Facebook live stream, Focus on It Friday, which is right here where you are right now, through my book, Shine, Understanding ADHD, so your child can be a star, and through my in-person and virtual events. My goal is to help parents, grandparents, teachers, educators, anybody who is around a child and loves a child and cares about a child, cares about their community. I'm here to help you all do what it is that you need to do so that you can help that child be successful in the classroom and in life. If you need me for your speaking engagements, go ahead and shoot me a message. I do those all the time too. Not just about ADHD. I can talk about anything, honey. And I'm very good at motivating parents, which leads me to this. Make sure that you know that no matter what, you are a great parent. You are a great grandparent. You have everything in you that you need to get these babies where they need to be. Just make sure that whatever you don't have, and you know that you still have it, just use that and reach out to resources. You have me at your disposal. My rate is about $300 an hour when I'm not with you. So make sure you use these resources. Make sure you use your educators. Make sure you use everybody that you can get your hand on so that you can help your child be successful. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next Friday right here, same place, Dr. Brandy B, at 12 noon Central Standard Time. Be good. Watch out for the snow if you're in Birmingham, and love on each other, because remember, everybody is going through something. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow. I love y'all. See you next time. Bye.